about the module itself and how you should structure your essay. And the second half we'll do some, if we get time, we'll have to do the speeches. So we're going to look at the rubric first, Benedict.
Oh, you want it? You don't have cooking. You get everything to give back. It's alright.
Wow.
I was a little bit concerned. It's alright.
Okay, so if you look at the rubric for this topic says this module requires students to explore and evaluate a specific text and its reception in a range of contexts. It develops students' understanding of questions of textual integrity. Then it goes to say students explore the ideas expressed in the text through analyzing its construction, content, and language. They examine how particular features of the text contribute to textual integrity. They research other perspectives of the text and test against their own understanding and interpretations. They extrapolate and explore questions of textual integrity and significance, and they develop imaginative, interpretive, and analytical compositions that relate to the study of this specific text. So what this module actually means, like from the top down, is that it requires us to look at the deep meaning behind text, the purpose behind text, and why these texts were written in their specific context. If you notice, the words textual integrity actually come up 3 times in the rubric, so it's important that we have to know what it is and why composers use it. We explore the meaning of these texts, and we do this by looking at the techniques and how techniques help the key messages come across. And then we also have to look at is why have these texts been read, valued, and received, and why do they still remain significant to today? So firstly, I want to talk about textual integrity as like a concept, because it does come up so many times, and you really have to understand it to help with your essays. So as a result, it should actually come up at least once in your essay, like the actual words textual integrity. You come up at least once in your introduction. So textual integrity means that the text itself must be considered as a whole. There is a unifying purpose that is achieved through context, audience, language, and content. That means everything about the speech helps with the speech itself. That means its audience, the reason why it was written, the context, and everything. They come together to make the speech more meaningful. So, for example, hypothetical. Keating's speech about his funeral of the unknown soldier is made more meaningful through his somber language, and he talks about stuff that is appropriate in funerals. So, for example, his speech would not have textual integrity if in the middle of his speech he starts to make jokes, like he gave his speech at a party. Okay, so it's how everything combines to add to the purpose and to the entire thing. In your essay, do you have to explain what textual integrity is? So that is yes and no. You don't have to specifically say textual integrity is ABC, but you need to show the marker that you actually understand what textual integrity is. And you do this by saying how textual integrity enhances text, and through a strong analysis of all the components of textual integrity. So that's context, audience, language, and content itself. And if you look at all those 4 things in your introduction and throughout the thing, it demonstrates that you actually understand how textual integrity makes the text more meaningful.
What 4 things?
Yes.
What 4 things?
I don't think this is a complete list, but this is what I have. Context, audience, language, and content. So I didn't get that off anything. I just brainstormed by myself last night. So thanks, Tony. With context, so context is a really important part in this module. It's not as important as what Nick talked about in Mod A, because it's not enough, but context frames the purpose of the text, why they were written, and that forms part of textual integrity. So I believe there are 3 types of context that should be included in all your essays whenever they're relevant. So in some speeches, some of them might not be relevant, but in some cases, you need all 3. So the first type of context that you need is the personal background of the speaker. And that is what gives the speaker the authority and power to comment on the issues that he's talking about, and why is it important that we as an audience listen. So for example, if you look at this, Pearson in his speech is a distinguished academic. He's a prominent Indigenous activist, and therefore his understanding of these issues, due to his study in this field, gives him authority to comment on how the indigenous have been treated and why and how this issue has been perceived. So that's the first part of context, it's the personal background. Now the second part that you should also be looking at is social context. So why is the speaker talking about this issue now? What makes now a good time to talk about this stuff? And why is it relevant? So if we go back to Pearson again, his speech is delivered during a contentious period of time regarding the 92 Marble decision and the allocation of Aboriginal land rights. And so the first one is personal background, second one is social context, and thirdly is the audience, is who is the audience and where is it being delivered. So that's kind of the Kairos thing that I'm sure a lot of you will know about. So back to Pearson again. So Pearson delivers his speech to an audience of academics at the University of Western Sydney. And so in this case it's not that important, but it's also good to get. But in some other speeches, this actually becomes really, really important. The audience and where it's being delivered. So if you look at, for example, Atwood delivers her speech to a group of feminists who are informed in literature, and that makes, and therefore, when she gives out her speech, her audience actually understands what she's saying, otherwise it makes no sense to most of us. And so, we've looked at the three types of context, the three types of context that you should include, and if you mess around enough, you can get it down all into one sentence. So this is the one sentence that comes in your first body paragraph. So for example, I did it with Pearson earlier, but I'll do a complete one with Atwood. So Margaret Atwood's renowned status as a novelist, poet, and critic elevates her credibility in responding to the construction of contemporary literature during the third phase of feminism to a largely female audience who are educated in literature. So that's just an example of how we would use one sentence to have all three parts of context in it and you cover it all. So I thought what we'd do now is a quick exercise is that we could break up and then we'd all do a speech like in groups and then we can all do like the perfect one sentence context sentence. Yeah? If
can we just ignore these?
no, but Dean
could be specifically asked. Everyone.
No one likes him, we still have to know he is. I am not
Tony down to Tony's row. Do you guys want to do Pearson? The row behind you guys, Kevin. How many have you been at? Four. Suchi. Back row. Back row as well.
Yeah, well, we can do both. None of us have no basic medicine at school for Benedict battle. Thank you for reconciling. Avid supporter of Australia being a result. No, like what you're saying is it gives him credit. What's about what's the reason is that it enhances the effect of his speech. So enhances the effect, but it's also the fact that he was Republican means that the whole point about him is like usually a lot enhances social context. Remembrance Day, 75th anniversary Bendy, one sentence.